Disclaimer, parts of this video may only be understandable if you've been a subscriber of mine prior to this video's release, as it is intended to update those already in the know on how the game I'm working on is. If say you're a new watcher and want to know more or further understand this video, these are some videos that would aid in doing so. Hello. So there are a couple things I'd like to update you guys on, and I'd like to start things off by saying that I've added more things as a bonus for playing the hardest difficulty. When playing the hardest difficulty, the only bonus you get is more lore, but now I've added some new skills for Igor when choosing to play at the hardest difficulty. The hardest difficulty features limited saving, no ends, and no revival items. To those who are new, the difficulty options of my game are dynamic and are customizable by certain things you can add on to make things harder for yourself. There's single-use save points, no revival items, and no ends. The no ends and no revival items practically make the game, which is a turn-based RPG, permadeath. When I play the game on the second hardest difficulty, the thing I don't disable amongst the choices to add on to the dynamic difficulty is the single-use save points, because I find myself saves coming before a battle starts to get the optimal first turn for some battles. That isn't an option, however, for the hardest difficulty, so these new skills are meant to aid with two things: consistency and more options when speedrunning. I added 3 skills, all of which are unlocked at level 2. One skill makes the player's walking speed as fast as the running speed, and the running speed even faster. It's pretty hard to control, but learning to properly use it makes traversal really fun. To those who are new, the game's movement is akin to Lisa the Painful's, but with my own twist. So if you're interested in that, check the game out, link in description. Another skill insta-kills the next fleshy meat at the cost of 25% of Igor's max HP. Doing this rewards the player only one fleshy meat for any fleshy they insta-kill. So there leads you to asking whether or not it's worth it to insta-kill or just to fight it instead. Lastly is a skill that costs money. Igor's money costing skill costs 12 bucks. It can be used in and out of battle, which fully recovers TP and SP of an ally. There's an item that I added that recovers 35 TP and is instant. Can be used in and out of battle and costs 4 bucks. You might think that Igor's skill is too expensive. No, it's pretty OP and I think it's fairly priced. It might even be too cheap. That said, 12 bucks is actually a lot of money, but in times where you desperately need to arrange your TP or SP before a battle, this is really useful. To those who are new, you may be confused when I mentioned that the item is instant. When I say a skill or an item is instant, means it doesn't cost a turn to use it in battle. I found out through my rounds of playtesting that the difficulty of a battle can greatly depend on how much TP or SP you have at the battle start. That's why I included the item and this new skill to help mitigate variables in gameplay that are too chaotic or hard to perfectly manage for a normal player. Also, I just mentioned that the skill will cost money, and there will be other skills that cost money that some party members will have. So that could allow me to perhaps give some party members healing skills. That way, healing skills wouldn't be OP. I did say that I wouldn't make healing skills as it'd be OP and stuff, but I think that doing it this way would balance it. Not only that, but it won't be affected by the Nirvana ailment. To those who are new, the Nirvana ailment doubles the healing received by a party member. I practically had to balance the game's economy around it, as doubling healing received is pretty strong. I've added some balance changes, like having added more flexibility with EXP after a playtest revealed that even with the amount of looseness that I had with the EXP requirements, it wasn't enough for the average player. To those who are new, my game has no random encounters and has limited battles, so you have to go out of your way to find battles in order to be strong enough or to go through some places, as some places will require you to become a certain level. So, I gave a much larger margin of error for EXP. I never really had problems with this since I never let a party member die, and I usually playtest the game on the second hardest difficulty. Some quality of life additions I'll be making is the option to start a playthrough at certain points of the game. Firstly, if you want to replay a certain part of the game, this will do good for you. This will also do good for me and other people playtesting in case we want to playtest a specific area of the game. To end this on some sort of bang, I'm going to release the builds I've been working on in the archive, formerly called the Iserfug archive but now called the Shudderfly archive. Not yet, however, but I will do so after I finish polishing up a new most recent build. Let's call it 0.7.0. Not yet the perfect demo, duh. It doesn't even have Act 2 of Chapter 1 yet, but it'll have some necessary balance changes. It also includes the new special skills that I mentioned at the start. Not only that, but I'm going to add what I haven't yet, flashbacks after boss fights. I planned to add them before, but I decided to prioritize the gameplay first. But I figured adding it would give people some form of clear image of some of the characters and how they would connect to the grander scheme of things. That means seeing more scenes like this. Act 2 is going to take a while to make since I'm going to have much longer animated scenes like that. It's going to go full on Super Mario Bros. Z or like Gwain Saga-esque with its animation. Lastly, in regards to the Discord and stuff and how putting the latest versions on itch may betray the purpose behind the Discord's creation. The purpose being that I want people to go out of their way to head to the Discord to play the game so that they might as well share feedback. Well, amongst the 25 people in the Discord, I've only gotten like 5 people return to me for feedback, so that's my rationale. In the future, when chapter 1 is finally finished and polished, I'm probably going to turn the Discord limited to playtesters only, because beyond chapter 1 is when I begin to make the game have a price tag. If you choose to join the Discord, know that its point is to share feedback with me in case you choose to join. Alright, that's it, bye.